Welcome to Your Face Story Podcast. Yolanda offers practical, educational, and encouraging content, saving you time and money when searching for ways to look younger naturally.
Welcome to another episode of What's Your Face Story. And today I wanted to talk about things that are aging us prematurely. You probably know that already, but let's go through it. Excessive sun exposure, bad for your body and bad for your skin. Not only it produces freckles, but it shatters the collagen. What happens eventually? Your skin starts wrinkle and then it starts sagging. The second one is carbs. Excess carbs, it does almost the same thing. It shatters the collagen in your skin and it causes the wrinkling and then sagging. Excess alcohol can do the same. It shortens the lifespan and it shows up on the face. Where does it show? The first thing, under the eyes, dark circles. Okay, so how do you remedy that? Before you even start looking for something invasive, know that there is so much you can do non-invasively, naturally, and with your own hands that I can teach you. And I am a holistic skincare expert, and now you can request a visit with me online, virtually. So as long as I can see your skin, I can help you navigate through the things that you need to do, speed up the recovery of the collagen loss, younger, healthier, and that means glowing skin. In order for you to start the process of rejuvenating your skin right now, before you even speak to anyone or myself, you can start drinking more water, start making smoothies with wild blueberries and lots of green leafy greens, and watch your skin. But the skin on the surface needs nutritious base as well. So you need to put plant-based or organic-based products that are very potent, very efficient, and you don't have to wait months to see the result. I encourage you to look for professional products, not the over-the-counter products, when you are looking for restoring the youthful glow of the skin. The neck is another problem. The skin on the neck is very different than the skin on the face. It does require nutritious products specifically for the skin on the neck, and it needs your fingers, you need your hands, it needs the stimulation, the massage that I'm going to be able to show you once I speak with you virtually. I'm going to be able to design a plan and show you 2-minute workouts that you can implement into your daily routine right away and look younger naturally. Okay, so Caroline Holke is a drinkless coach. After 30 years of drinking excessively, she decided it's time to take my life back into my own hands and drink to enjoy, not to be controlled by it.
So I'm a drink less coach. I came to this work after my own journey. And I would say I started drinking as a teenager many years ago. And it was pretty much, that was kind of what my social group did. And drank throughout my teens, college, after college, all that kind of stuff. I definitely slowed down when I had children and realized probably in my 40s that I was drinking a little bit more. I noticed that I was just drinking a little bit more than my peers. Not that anybody else noticed necessarily, but the difference was I felt it. I knew that, and I describe it as I felt like I was driving with the emergency brake on. Everything was fine, but I knew that I was running at subpar. I could go faster. I continued to be promoted at work and advance at work and all that kind of stuff, but I just knew that things were off. The things that I didn't like were waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and kind of wondering, first of all, I don't quite remember the end of that show that we were watching, or it was, did I say something or do something, not dramatic, but just like the little things that kind of worry in the middle of the night. Or maybe I just felt groggy the next day. I didn't like any of those things. And I started on my own journey to figure out how to get rid of it. And so now what I say is that I help women get rid of the shitty parts of drinking, which doesn't mean quitting drinking entirely. It means getting rid of the things that you don't like, which is unique to all of us. So for some people, that is, they just don't want to drink at all anymore. Other people they want to know that they can go out on the weekends and have a couple drinks and know that they'll feel fine the next day, and figuring out exactly what that limit is, what that line is important for them. And in terms of my journey, I started listening to podcasts and reading books and doing all sorts of things until I finally kind of stumbled upon this idea of stop over drinking, which is important to say. Language matters. It's not about stopping drinking. It's about stopping that overing part. I was like, ding, ding, ding. That's exactly what I want. And that's really the work that I do now, is I help people figure out what that line is for them and how they can get there.
So basically you have felt that you don't like the way you felt. You just don't like the life that you were living, or did someone point it out to you?
No one said anything to me. Yeah.
That's interesting. So
it was an internal choice. I do have a like belief, I don't know, a hypothesis that I think people choose coaching on their own terms versus rehab and AA where somebody else kind of intervenes.
Okay, perfect.
That's just Caroline Holke's hypothesis. So.
So how many years have you been drinking before you decided that this was not a good thing anymore?
Well, it was over 30 years. So.
Over 30 years. That's a long time. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. So many of us, especially when life is what it is right now, we just like to be happy for a minute. So a glass of wine is, I guess, okay, but more than 3 glasses a day, according to University of Oxford, they did their research on wine and how it affects our telomeres, which are indication of how long we are going to live, how fast are we aging, basically. The shorter telomere, the shorter lifespan. So they found that 29 glasses a week starts to be too much, and you're going to be aging rapidly. And what does it amount to? Like 4 glasses a day. Normally, we don't drink that, I hope. But if you have a glass of wine a day, we're not talking about this. So, yeah. So if you're just knowing that you have a little too much, first, you are aging rapidly, so your skin will show that. And this is why the name of my podcast, What Is Your Face Story, tells it all. Yeah. We get affected by everything in the environment, in our lifestyles, because it reflects on the skin first, and then we start aging.
Absolutely.
But what we are speaking with Caroline and myself, we are giving you hope and know that there are options and there is a way out of it. So Dr. Sinclair, who is Harvard's professor, who works on epigenetics and extending lifespan, he talks about resveratrol, and he found this to be life-extending antioxidant, and somehow by mishap, he said it's in a red wine, and the sales of the red wine went up the roof. It was so amazing. But then he retracted. He says, well, you have to have 200 glasses a day in order to
Right.
have enough of that
Right,
in your
right,
body.
right,
So
right.
don't be spending
Yeah.
on that.
Don't do that. That's not going to help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I think that, we live in a drinking culture for sure. And so when we find little snippets like that, then the media goes nuts with it, right? We
Yeah,
want to
yes,
hear that.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're going to be better off eating the grapes than you will be drinking 400, 200 glasses of wine or whatever it needs to
Even
be.
grapes, that's too much sugar, so that wouldn't be a
Yeah,
good thing either. So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
another,
yeah.
yeah. So he has this NMN product, which is high resveratrol, and that is what he promotes now. He says, no more wine, just take this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, so so now that you have gone through your own coaching, your own recovery, you now are doing that for others. You're helping others to
Right.
what? To understand why, and then
Yeah. So for everybody, it's a little bit different. And what I find, what I help my clients with mostly is understanding, what's underneath it. What is quote unquote driving you to drink? And I think that there's a distinction between, everybody's different, of course, everybody's different, but when you're drinking in order to avoid loneliness, or to feel less anxious or less stressed or something like that, then that's a different kind of ball of wax than going out and having a drink with friends for social reasons.
mm-hmm.
Because in the first case, we're using it as a coping mechanism, and it's a terrible one, because it actually increases anxiety, it increases stress, it does all these things that, it's totally counterproductive. And the fact of the matter is, like, we don't know that. That is not the established narrative. And so until you get into it and actually look at the science and or experience it yourself, then it doesn't work like that.
So yes, if someone is using this as a substitute for a happy pill, that's unfortunate, because that's gonna just get worse and worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Exactly. So how much success do you have with your coaching program? How long is the coaching?
Yeah. So my clients, obviously, everybody's a little bit different. My coaching program is for 12 weeks, and I meet one-on-one with individuals. And actually, everybody has seen a change in their drinking if they've completed the program. So, yeah, I'm
That's
pretty happy with
that's not a long program. That's wonderful. Yes, that's very good. So, okay, so I want to know, so after they complete the program, is the wine is a no-no anymore, or?
No, again, that is up to them. I'm not an oracle that says you need to drink X amount or not drink at all. That is not the case at all. They decide what they want their relationship with alcohol to look like, and I help them navigate towards that. We work together in co-creating that.
So this must be an addiction to wine. So if they are still looking for a glass of wine socially, is that going to go back to where it was?
Just to be clear, I don't work with people that feel like they're addicted.
I see.
I work with people that have a habit, but there's a distinction there. And that's important, is, these are people that are high performing type A people, women I work with typically, who are very successful. And what happens so often is those traits that help us be successful in the workplace, of, that drive to perform and to do well and all that kind of stuff, that actually works against us when we're trying to drink less. Because what happens is we have a habit, and then successful women will look at that and say, well, I can figure that out. Okay. But they're using the wrong tools. And when they use the wrong tools, it gets really frustrated. And then they start beating up on themselves. Like, you can do better. This is crazy. Like, this is so frustrating. And guess what? When we have all that negative self-talk, we want to avoid it. We want to escape it, and we want to drink. And so it creates another neural pathway right there. And so I help my clients learn about how the brain is working and how we can use that to our advantage to change these habits.
Mm-hmm. So do you find a substitute for this habit or?
Well, I mean, the biggest substitute is, really, we're just recognizing that it's not doing anything scientifically to help you relax. It's actually increasing, stress hormones in your body. It's actually increasing stress. So it feels like it for the first 15 minutes, but that's it. And then you're paying for it on the other side.
Yeah. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very interesting. Okay, so with that said, I know that you have a course that you're going to be offering, and this is, let's see, where did the course go?
Yeah, I'll just talk about that while you're looking for that. It's my Stop Over Drinking course. So again, it's not about stopping drinking necessarily, unless you want that. It's about stopping over drinking and figuring out exactly what that line is for you. And so I've got a free course where I've just put together kind of the key fundamentals that I've used and that I use with my clients. And it's delivered via email. So it's not like you have to sign up for a certain time or anything, and just kind of do it at your own pace. And I've a lot of people have seen a lot of success with that.
And how long is the course?
It's just like I've got it down to the bare bones. It's just 3 emails. So
that's very interesting. That's
very straightforward. I'm not a big fan of like the 17 videos and 4,000 different worksheets and all that stuff. So it's like, this is the core basics. It's kind of like so you'll totally appreciate this. When anybody's trying to lose weight or feel better or whatever, the first thing we do is say, drink more water and get more sleep, right? Like, we know the fundamentals.
Yes.
It's the same idea here.
Right. Sometimes though, as many clients as I talk to, and we know that we need to sleep better, we need to drink more water, we know all that. But it takes just a little bit of looking in the mirror and noticing what you're noticing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you notice, you are running for help. And then when you are offered the help, like, yes, I can get you out of this. Well, let's just say drink a little bit more water. That's all what you have to do. And that tips the scale, and it gives you the motivation, basically. So there's got to be something behind to motivate us to do.
Yeah, of course. We have to understand our why we're doing this. I mean, and actually my coaching program is called Drink Less, Live More. Drinking less is great. There's nothing wrong with that. That's great. But really why this work is important is, what are we going to do with all that time that we've wasted, that we waste either thinking about drinking or recovering from drinking. I mean, I've got a good friend who calculated out that she was spending 40 hours a week drinking. Like, she had tons of time to do all these amazing things with her life. And I spent some time with that with my clients. Like, what are we going to do? What do you want to do with that time? What do you want to do with that brain space that you open up? Like, there's an opportunity cost of that mental chatter of, am I going to drink? Am I going to not? All that kind of stuff.
That's amazing.
And then when we build out that vision of what life can be, then it's like, that's what pulls us through those times where it's easy to just have a moment of, screw it, I'm just gonna have a drink.
Yeah. So just knowing don't have a drink is not enough. You need to have the motivation or something behind that.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. And most people, we're busy. Most people do not, once we get to a certain age, we don't sit down and kind of plan what those next phases are. Maybe we do it with our career or our business or something like that, but we don't do it with our lives as much.
Right.
Like, I've got younger kids, and so when you're younger, there's like a path, right? And you do certain things in a certain order. Not everybody does, but like, it's kind of common, right? Once you get to a certain age, you get to make it up, but you don't spend the time. Most of us don't take the time to build out what that vision could look like and allow ourselves to dream.
Well, Caroline, I'm noticing that most of us, we were brought up in in the notion that self-care is selfish.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of, we go through life thinking, oh, I wish I could have that. I wish I did this for myself, but I can't because I have to take care of this or that,
Mm-hmm.
or I shouldn't spend money. All those things affect our internal balance.
Yes.
And we are saying, no, I can't do this because, no, I can't do this because, and that makes us unhappy.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. And one of the first things that I do, I'm a mindset coach. So I'm going to sit down with them and challenge them. Like, where did you learn this?
Yeah.
And is it something that you want to continue to believe?
Yeah.
I mean, things change all the time. And our brain is like open source code. It's like we've got this computer, and these little pieces of code get embedded in our brains, and then we start operating off of those.
Exactly.
So what I help my clients do is kind of stop for a minute and say, yeah, I know you've been believing that for a long time, but do you want it? Do you want to believe that?
Yes.
And a lot of times it's no.
So definitely changing the mindset around the self-care and self-love, it's a starting point to everything in life, in our life, because like when you go on the plane, they give you the masks.
Exactly. I was thinking about the same example. Yeah.
Exactly. I love that when they say that, because it kind of teaches everyone, take care of yourself first.
You know, I do love that part of it. But if you take that a little bit further, think about that. Like the plane is flipping going down, and that's the only time you can take care of yourself first. It's kind of crazy.
Okay, yes, but with that, yes, I've never gone that far.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking like, oh, I would have never done that before.
Mm-hmm.
I would always put it on that someone next to me first.
Yeah.
But that kind of brings you back to the present, and you're thinking, wow, maybe without me, there is not much else going on. Yeah, so I love that. So when I first heard that, I was like, that's new. Yeah. So I do teach my clients as well. Self-love is really something that you need to start with when you want to look younger naturally, because there is a way. If you can go to the gym and get yourself fit, you can do the same with your face. You don't need those invasive procedures if you are willing to do something for yourself. That's exactly where it starts. It starts from you looking in the mirror and loving yourself for whoever you are and saying, what else can I do to help myself?
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I believe that our relationship with alcohol is often a reflection of our relationship with ourselves.
Really? So that is definitely very interesting.
Yeah.
I love this conversation, and I know so many women. I don't know about men. I don't think they drink wine, but they drink beer.
Yeah.
I know so many women that we do like that social drink, but then it gets to the point for some of us that it's a little too much, excessive, and then it's hard to know what to do. I've never heard of drink less coach.
I know.
I am so excited to share that with everyone.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm kind of on a mission to get the word out that because I think everybody is really aware of AA and rehab. Like we know the abstinence only model, but there's a huge space between, before that, there's like gray area drinking. And what so many people do is they say, well, I don't have a drinking problem per se, but so there's nothing for me. And I definitely fell into that category. I mean, my brother was in AA. And so I grew up knowing that model very well. And when I started thinking, kind of on my own journey, I was like, well, I know that that's not for me, but I don't know I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do here. And so being able to provide that for other people is so rewarding. And that's why I left my corporate job and I'm doing this now.
Beautiful. So it is not AAA. It's just managing the drinking or finding the reasons. I think you have said that, finding the reason behind drinking.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what makes it sustainable, is like understanding what's going on underneath there. I mean, it's like the difference between using a Band-Aid and when you really need stitches for something.
No, that's perfect. So Caroline, would you say right now at this point where you've gone through your training and then now you're training others, are you still drinking socially, or?
I haven't said that I won't say that I've quit drinking. But I mean, and so I will drink. I will have, well, honestly, at this point, I order a glass of wine, but I never finish it.
Okay.
And I don't do it very often. Right now, at this stage, I do it periodically just to kind of test the waters, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have any hold on me.
So you're testing your willpower.
No, not my willpower. It's just if I like the taste at all. And I don't like the taste. I actually prefer my non-alcoholic wine, which is so interesting because, I mean, almost 3 years ago, if you had told me that I couldn't drink wine again, I would have said, I do not like you. I don't want to talk to you. So, but now, I mean, quite honestly, I prefer the non-alcoholic versions. Not all of them. There are a couple of them that I like because they're kind of hard to find. But I do prefer them. And I definitely do not like the idea of getting buzzed and kind of losing that control, which again, for a long time, that was the appeal.
So that's wonderful. So thank you so much. I know you have to go, and I am definitely going to share this with everyone.
Thank you. And yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you and meet you a little bit more and to talk with your listeners.
And is the course free, or
yes, it's free?
Mm-hmm. It's mm-hmm. free. Okay.
Yep.
Wonderful. What state are you in?
I'm in Missouri. I'm right in the middle of the country.
Okay. So it's going to be the virtual visits, like the beauty visits.
Yes. Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful that we've entered the era where everything is televisits?
I know. It's really nice. Really nice.
Yes.
My former job, I was in global marketing, and so I was on the plane a lot. And so having this has been really nice. But
it's been really nice. Yes. Mm-hmm. I would have never thought that someone can actually have a consultation with me over the phone, over Zoom. But yes, as long as I can see their face, their skin, it's the same thing as I'm seeing them in person.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I've got clients all over the world that I work with now. So
beautiful. Beautiful. And you can manage that. That's interesting. Okay. So yes, we want to live longer. We want to live happier, and we want to look younger. So there we go. That's our conversation for today. Thank you so much, Caroline.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been delightful to talk with you.
Again, thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends.